I started the career in FedEx as a handler. I handle packages on the ground. I load up aeroplanes, and I've been to the couriers. I done the customs clearance clerk job, and it's all really start on the ground. And I was fortunate enough to be in FedEx, where opportunities given to people that want to build that as a career, and a lot of promotion from within, from the handler move on to the managers, holding various management positions. Today I'm the managing director for running the Singapore business. In Singapore alone, we got about 1,200 employees. Prior to this job, I was a managing director for the planning engineering, dealing with Asia Pacific wide on the ground investments, and set up infrastructure, process engineering, flight networks, and those things. That there's a lot of different interesting way and how you can contribute. A lot of people that come into this industry, are you looking at that as a job, or are you looking at that as a potential career development for you in the long run? And what industry are you looking at?
I started off as a management trainee, and my job there was a management trainee, and I was put in for a year to be a container surveyor. The beauty part of that is that I'm given an overall uniform where I don't have to worry about what to wear every day. So you just wear the uniform every day, overall, and then I climb up the containers and conduct surveys on containers arriving from the port. And for the shippers who have unstaffed the containers, I go through the PSA course. I went to PSA to learn forklift driving, literally, with all the other people that you see driving the forklift. Come back and then continue with the management trainee job. So my advice actually to the young folks today is, if you are given a chance to get your hands dirty, please go into it, because you have to invest at least 3 to 5 years of your life learning the ropes. Because thereafter, once you have done that and you get into a managerial position or something that is senior enough, you are able to tell those guys that works for you or your colleagues that you can look them in the eye and know that you have actually, have a lot of sweat behind that 5 years.
When I just graduated, I was a planner, shipping. Then I got into program management. And then at Flextronics, they wanted to set up a logistics wing. So I started to take the challenge and help build up the logistics, even though I don't have a logistics background. But I think you need to read and hands-on as well. Thereafter, I go into solution. Opportunity that you could have is to be able to rotate within the company. So it's actually what you want to do at the end of the day. Like, you have the warehouse, you have the operations, you have the freight, you have solution, you have sales as well. I personally chose solution because I don't want to be dealing with people and boxes and warehouse. So, but at least I would, if you want to get into this field, I strongly encourage you to at least go through the entire supply chain of the logistics. So you can understand actually every function. And later on, a few years later, you decide whether which is where you really want to go at the end of the day.
What is more important is I think is the attitude behind your job. There was this story that was told to me a long time ago about someone walking by a construction site, and they saw this person laying bricks. And he asked this guy, one of the bricklayer, he says, "What are you doing?" So this guy says, "Oh, I'm laying bricks under the hot sun, and it's tiring and it's boring," and you know what? He was about to give up. And he walked about 10 meters away, another bricklayer, and he asked the same question to this guy. He says, "What are you doing?" Guess what? This guy didn't say he was a bricklayer. Well, you can be a warehousing guy, you can be a last mile, you can be a logistics, right? It doesn't matter what you do. But this guy, he was laying brick, but his response was not, "I'm laying brick." He said, "I'm building a church." So think about it. If you work for an organization and you are an important function, All right? It doesn't matter what you do because at the end of the day, you deliver value. If you sell Coca-Cola, all right, you will be very proud on a weekend when you walk out with your girlfriend or your spouse to a store and you realize that whoever orders a Coca-Cola gets it. It means your work for the week has contributed to the fact that the product is available when the customer wants it. That's essentially it. That's it. All right? So if you think bigger than that, you have a change of attitude in terms of what you do, that function no longer exists.
There's nothing that you can achieve without working hard. And if your attitude is even not to do your job well, then I don't think you can achieve what you want to do. So sometimes you have to work with people who are lower than you, and you have to treat them in respect as well. So you cannot assume like a storekeeper who has been working 10 years and you want them to do your way. It's also very difficult. So sometimes you need to understand their situation, learn from them, and work with them, and that's where you get to improve and progress from there.
If you were to do well, people will take notice. A lot of people are moving to a rat race. They're thinking that 2 years down the road, I want to be a manager. 3 years down the road, I want to be a senior manager, director, whatnot. You know, the moment that you start having that kind of mind, you start having a rat race, and then you forgot about what you live in today. So focus in terms of doing well what you are doing today. Tomorrow will just be the day that you'll be taking care of you today.
I think a lot of people today, and I'm hoping that I won't be saying this to you, they graduate and they think that the paper that they have, they spend a lot of years behind their papers and the examination, they came out and they want to fast track. They want to say, you know what, after 2 years, I want to be a manager, I want to manage a team. I think you got to go in. Why I say that? About a year ago, we had a group of interns that joined us. And you can see from the 8 interns, they are very intelligent. I mean, the fact that they join us, they are already intelligent. So we screen them, and they have to achieve a certain marks first, all right, in terms of wisdom and smartness. So what do you do next, right? You're smart, so everyone is smart here, right? So everyone has wisdom. So you have to, the humility part has been lost in many of the young folks today. 2 of the guys were very humble. They're very hardworking, they're very humble, they stood out. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed that simple thing like humility stood out from the employer's perspective, and you'll be shocked. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to employ someone who is smart, who knows everything, all right, but is very arrogant. Because arrogant is going to kill you. So you have to have humility, especially in your first 5-10 years of your career. Do everything, do your best, work as hard as you can, and be humble.